Hey, good morning, guys. So we are out in the shop again today. I had to end up working this weekend, so it really wasn't practical to try to load everything up to go ride. Plus, we had to put a new exhaust gasket on the header pipe on the old wheeler, so I wanted to make sure the silicone had time to dry. It's kind of cold outside anyway, so I figured today we just sit in the shop and go over a few things that I've made for this four-wheeler to that's cheap. And first one I'm going to show you is for the lock and ride. I made these nice little holders here that are probably going to be able to hold shovels or whatever. What I mainly made it for was to hold a snow shovel. And all these are expansion plugs for engine block. I got these at O'Reilly's for a couple bucks a piece, and then I went to my local farm store and then just ended up buying a longer carriage bolt to go through here. That's all that's there, so you can get the carriage bolts in any length you want. And then I just used, I think this is like 1.25" strap steel, just mild strap steel, and it was really simple. All I did was go over here on the vise. No, I'll show you what we did. It's about as easy can get. So all I took was I had a piece of exhaust pipe, exhaust tubing laying around that was about the radius that I wanted. So if you got a piece of pipe around that's the radius, like I said, here's the strap steel. So all I did was I just put this thing in my vise and put the strap steel next to it, tightened it down, and bent it around. And you can only bend so far. So after I did that, I just laid this piece of tubing down flat like that, on top of the strap steel with the partial radius. Got a pair of 11s. That's what I call them anyway. Tightened it down and finished the bend. It was easy. It's probably the easiest thing I've ever done. The only other thing you got to do is these plugs were made for, I think, 1 inch to 1.25 inch hole. So I had to chuck that carriage bolt up, and you could use an electric drill. I've got a drill press. Just turned it on and used some 80 grit sandpaper and sanded it down until they would fit in this hole. They fit really snug. And you just take a 1/2 inch wrench, and that's it. I mean, they're tight. And then we'll see how this fits in here. So as you can see, I just used little hitch pins, 2 of them. They're like $1.99. So then now, snow shovel, at least mine, is what I'm using it for. Fits in there. Put your hitch pins over. I made this with that foam a little tight. So then now, as you can see, this thing won't move. I mean, it's in there. So now you get where you want to go. Your gloves and everything, you pull the hitch pins out pretty easy, and it's short and sweet. And then come the off season, I only used a couple nuts right here to hold this U on, so I can take those off and I can make something else different for these. If I want to expand them out, because you got several different plug holes. If I want to expand them out and put a rack on here and adapt it to that. But for a couple bucks for those expansion plugs, you can buy more. I only bought 2 I wanted to make sure it was going to work, and plus O'Reilly's, that's all they had in stock. So that was kind of a factor too. But anyway, that was short and sweet. The next thing I made was this basket right here. As you see on the last video, I go out and cut wood and pull and brush, things like that. It's easier when you're cleaning up things to, if I don't want to haul the trailer around, to have a place to put my chainsaw and the gas and all that. Chainsaw holders for these things, they're expensive. I've seen some really good YouTube videos of how to make just a chainsaw holder, but they're kind of complex. So this thing, I just went over to my local farm store and bought some 1-inch angle is all I used, and 1-inch square tubing. So I made my bracket out of just the square tubing. So I think it might end up being like 1.25 inches is what fits your receiver hitch. So that piece is a little bit bigger. And just made a support for the bottom. Had some expanded metal laying around. And I think I built this whole thing for $30. And we'll stick it in there and you can see what it looks like here. So it fits right in there. It doesn't look bad at all. And it's stout. And it's just big enough for me to, put my chainsaw in there. And one good thing that works really well, I don't have it out, I'd show you, is I got an old Coca-Cola crate. One of the real shallow ones, and I use that for my chainsaw gas and everything. I took a piece of paracord and like 1-inch dowel rod, made a handle. Works great. So anyway, guys, just something really quick and simple, things that you can make on your own, save a lot of money, and it doesn't take a lot to do it. The little bracket holders, I used a hammer and a drill in my vise. Now this rack, I'm lucky enough that I've got a Lincoln MIG welder, just a small one. It's not big by no means. There it is. It's just a little 220 SP175T. It's been the best welder I've ever had. And a metal chop saw, and that's it. Took me an afternoon to make, and it's really worked out good. It really has. So if you got any questions, give me a shout out. And as always, if you like the channel, give me the big thumbs up and subscribe. And you guys have a blessed day.